All right, guys, there's been a lot of discussion lately about quadruple A gaming and, paywalling and pay gating games from launch, where normally we're used to seeing DLC come out, a few months to a year after a game has had time to kind of, simmer and ruminate and let people enjoy it and kind of see what all there is to explore and find out. Well, now we're seeing games at launch like Star Wars Outcast. No, sorry, not Outcast. Star Wars Outlaws, excuse me. Where initially you're going to pay, $70 for a game that honestly a lot of people are not excited about. It's not just the controversy about the character looking like a not very feminine female version of Han Solo. It's also the fact that they rolled out DLC right from the get-go. So the day that this game launches, you know automatically that there are missions, quests, whatever you want to call them, that you cannot access unless you want to pay the extra fee. Not to mention these games all have battle passes or season passes. They all got DLC cosmetic options you can purchase. And I personally, I hate paying for cosmetics. It's absolutely insane. And I wish less people would do it. But again, people are going to spend their money on what they want to spend their money on. There's a reason that a lot of those shooters, those arena shooters, have people that have thousands of dollars worth of cosmetics. I mean, it just is what it is. But we're not just seeing that with Star Wars Outlaws. We're seeing this with things like even Overwatch 2 had a lot of backlash for locking Diablo 4 skins behind a paywall. And again, this is Blizzard. Blizzard and Activision are some of the scummiest people on the planet next to Ubisoft. So it's not shocking when you see this kind of stuff. And of course, the Overwatch 2 people, again, a market full of people who will pay for those cosmetics. Now we're seeing the most recent example of the paywalled, pay-gated missions with Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game that is going to be a disaster, despite the fact that the media is trying to spin this as some sort of record-breaking, earth-shattering, massive pre-sale. It's going to do numbers, Honest to God, this game is going to flop. It's going to flop hard. I'm going to stand by that, and I will say I was wrong if I'm wrong, but I know I'm not going to be wrong about this. But yeah, this game's already got a $130 version you can pay for, on top of the fact that if you don't pay for that version, you know that you're missing out on an experience because you're not having all the missions from launch. Well, now it would seem that Warhammer Space Marine 2 is going to have a little bit of the same situation. No, it's not going to have microtransactions, but it is going to have a season pass and paid cosmetics. So for all you guys out there who have not quite given up on Warhammer yet, this article from That Park Place points out that they are basically going the route of paid cosmetics and season passes. So it says, developers for the upcoming Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 game declare that the game has no microtransactions, but in the same breath, they revealed the game does have microtransactions via paid cosmetic options. And I hate this verbiage. I hate the fact that people will say, oh no, we're not pay gating anything. We're not paywalling. There's no microtransactions, but we are gonna, repaint some of the skins and re-release them so you could, spend 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks every time you want to get a new whatever for your character. It says in a blog post uploaded to the game's Steam page, developers for the game outlined the 3 types of game modes the game offers, including the campaign mode, a cooperative 3-player PvE mode, and a 6v6 multiplayer PvP mode. On top of announcing the 3 game modes, the post declares, we want Space Marine 2 to be an experience tailor-crafted for the players. Hence, we're happy to confirm that there aren't any microtransactions in Space Marine 2. No in-game cash shop. All gameplay content and features will be free to all players. Any paid DLCs will be cosmetic only. So, I could say that there's at least a little bit of integrity there to the fact that they're saying, hey, if you don't want to miss out on any of the game modes or, the game functions, you don't have to pay anything extra. I still don't like the decision to sell paid cosmetics in games. I wish we could go back to a day where we're still using physical discs for our games and we're not having to pay for a skin or a cosmetic or some sort of animation, or some emoji or whatever. It's so freaking annoying. Focus Entertainment's brand manager, Sylvain Leroux, confirmed to PC Games End that the game will have a season pass, but it will be purely cosmetic and will be delivered in several phases. Furthermore, he added that everything you'll get in the passes is purely cosmetic. All the gameplay additions, whether it's new missions or new enemies, all of that will come for free to all players. So, here's the real question I'm having. Because if you do recall, Warhammer, the franchise in its entirety, across the board, is in a very, very, very bad situation right now. I'm less worried about whether or not they're going to increase the number of microtransactions or paid cosmetics or whatever, and more with the overall state that Warhammer is in right now. It seems like a very bold move to me at this point in the juncture to say, oh no, we're still going to have paid cosmetics for our customers who've already paid for the game, when the reality is Warhammer is just pissing people off left and right. And a little bit more about this game to begin with. If you recall, a couple years ago, the writer for this game is actually the same person who was going after Hogwarts Legacy, claiming that it was transphobic. This person here, Ashley Cooper, I believe a trans woman, was saying, if you're going to insist on playing the Wizard game, stop bending yourself into a pretzel, trying to find a way to explain or justify doing so, and have the conviction to just say, transphobia is not a deal breaker for me. So that's the person that wrote this game a couple years ago, that did all the work for that. So again, keep that in mind when you're paying for this game and when you're paying for all those cosmetics. As well as that, this article that came out a few days ago talking about how Games Workshop of Warhammer had doubled down on the inclusivity virtue signal and then deleted it, where they essentially were calling all of their fans a bunch of backwards thinking people with outdated views on inclusivity. And it was from this blog post here saying, here we go, something undeniably Warhammer, unambiguous, a little gothic, probably carried by someone with breathtakingly outdated views on inclusivity. It's got the lot. We don't even need to guess what this is, really. And it's like a little picture of a torch or something. And this is the same group of people. I know that the Saber Entertainment or Saber Interactive, the ones who are making the game, are not the same people necessarily working on the blog posts or the tabletop game or whatever. But the reality is, Games Workshop still makes money off of this, okay? If they're the ones licensing this and they're the ones, letting people make video games off of this, and you buy the game, you buy the DLC, you pay for the cosmetics, you're still putting money back in Games Workshop's pocket. And just to be clear, they do hate their customer base. They have proved that time and time again over the last few months. So just some food for thought. As honestly, as great as these games look, I played a few of them. They seem fun. I just don't think it's worth anybody's time or ethics to say, yeah, I'll break on this one and I'll give them my money after they've spent the last few months pissing all over their existing customer base, trying to chase them off in lieu of trying to find a more modern, diverse audience. But I'll leave it right there. Let me know what you guys think about it. Don't forget, we do have the website up and running. You can check out all the news, all the merch on my website. Going to be a lot more added on here in the next few months, so just stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of awesome stuff on here. And of course, all my video uploads are going to be on here where you can actually just play them right here through the website. That way you make sure you don't miss anything. Also, make sure you check the link down below for the offer from Meta PCs, and I will catch you guys later. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.